my curriculum plan and study themes include architecture as art. My intended audience is 4th grade students at Clifton Public Schools number 8 and 11, and the time frame is between 8 and 10 weeks, each class period being 30 minutes long. Students will begin this lesson by observing ancient architecture, including the Ishtar Gate, the Pyramids of Giza, the Parthenon, and the Colosseum. Students will be provided with an exit ticket upon entering the classroom. They will answer the first question, what do you notice about the structures on the previous slides? I will then discuss some highlight information pertaining to each of these ancient architectural forms. Students will then answer the question, is architecture a form of art? Why or why not? They will turn and discuss with their table mates when complete. Students will observe contemporary architecture by various architects. They will observe the structures and understand the functions. The architects they will see are Elizabeth Diller, Frida Escobedo, Marwa Al-Sabuni, Amal Andreas, Mabel O. Wilson, David Childs, Herzog and de Meuron, Renzo Piano, Norman Foster, and Adrian Smith. Students will participate in Project Zero's Think, Pair, Share discussion format. Students will think about similarities and differences between the ancient and contemporary forms of architecture. They will pair up with a table, peer, and discuss what they thought. And finally, they will share with the whole class. The first activity students will participate in is cup stacking. They will be provided with plastic cups and their exit ticket. The goal of the cup stacking activity is to create a structure of any height, width, or form, and to make a structure that is stable. They can only use the cups provided and no further materials. Upon completion of the cup stacking activity, students will answer question number 3. How can architecture reflect a time period, a culture, or a society? Lesson number 2 will include students learning about architects, what their role is in the construction of a building, and blueprints. How do blueprints help architects create a building? Students will create their own blueprint, and in the following slide, we'll watch a short video clip about architects. The essential questions for lesson number 2 include, what is an architect's role, and what is a blueprint? Students will be introduced to the artist Sarah Says, who creates blueprints for a landscape in 2017 in the New York City subways. They will watch a short video pertaining to Sarah Says and watch her describe her artwork. Students will then embark on lesson 2, blueprints. Their goal is to invent and create a structure with function. For example, a home, skyscraper, retail space, hospital, or a house of worship, among other things. Students will be provided with a planning sheet, as seen on the next slide, to brainstorm ideas to create a blueprint. They will determine the purpose and what their structure will be made of. Finally, they will use blue construction paper, rulers, white crayons, colored pencils, or twistables to create their blueprint. Once students have completed their blueprint, they will complete the blueprint self-reflection form, as seen here. They will answer the questions, what is the purpose or function of their structure, what were challenges that they had faced when planning their blueprint, and did they overcome these challenges, and do you feel that you completed a successful blueprint? Would you be able to construct a 3D model using this blueprint? And finally, what do you like most about your artwork and why? The final lesson in this unit is 3D models. Students will construct a 3D model utilizing their blueprint that they had created. Students will use their blueprint as a map to create a 3D model using recycled materials such as water bottles, milk cartons, egg cartons, cereal boxes, among other things. Additionally, the teacher will provide tape, glue, staples, paper, and paint to create their 3D model. They will use an inventory sheet, seen here, to plan what materials they will need to utilize to create their 3D model, how they will connect different pieces together, and they want to keep in mind the function, purpose, and reason for their structure. Their structures must be no larger than 12 by 12 inches. Halfway through the completion of the 3D model project, students will participate in a midpoint critique. Assigned in small groups, the students will discuss the process of creating their 3D models. They will ask the questions: what are challenges that you faced? What are solutions that the peers can offer? And what direction will they be moving and going forwards? Once students have completed their 3D model, they will fill out the self-assessment rubric. They'll read each category and circle each area that they feel applies best to their experience and their working habits. They'll tally the total numbers and write their score. Finally, they will answer the 2 questions thoughtfully and in full sentences. They'll be reminded that their self-given score does not reflect their grade. This is a summative rubric. They will reflect back from the beginning to cup stacking all the way till their end of the 3D models.
My hope for this project is that it broadens students' understanding of art being a career.
My hope for this project is that it broadens my students' understanding of art as a career. I hope students can use their imagination, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills to see that their ideas, if you work through them, can become plausible real-life goals and objects.